Merry Christmas to the Michigan football fan base, Michigan Football Report audience. Want to tell you guys Merry Christmas. And did you guys get any Santa gear, Michigan gear from Santa? I got less this year than in previous years, maybe because I bought a bunch myself. But I'm wearing a Michigan shirt. I've also got these ones. These are from past years. I don't know if I can see this. Toss it up there. I got some Michigan sweatpants on. I got some red Nikes on, anti-Michigan States. I'm all swagged out here on Christmas Day for the Michigan Football Report, the Michigan sweatpants, and the Go Blue shirt. So if you guys got any Michigan gear today, tweet me some photos. It's at James Yoder on Twitter. Any photos we get will feature on a show leading up to the game on Saturday, folks. It is officially game week. It's Christmas Day, but it's a Sunday. It's game week. And I do want to thank everyone for watching the show as we kind of reflect on 2022. We've built a nice audience here. More people watch this show on YouTube than any other programming on Michigan football. That's not like, a Colin Cowherd segment on Jim Harbaugh. You've got a lot of options out there in the grand media landscape, and so really appreciate you guys giving me your time and allowing me to just kind of give you my thoughts on Michigan football, interacting in the comments. It means a lot, and I want to say Merry Christmas to you. All right, top story of the day today is Blake Corum leaning towards a return, all right? Before the season, I would have said if everything played out like it did this year, up until right before halftime against Illinois, Blake Corum was 95% going to the NFL, and there was no reason for him to return. He could have been a second or third round pick potentially. I don't think first round was in the cards unless he had some top end speed that we really didn't ever see or really know about, the Donovan Edwards style top end speed. But with this knee surgery that he got a couple weeks ago, and the fact that his prep for the NFL draft is going to be delayed, right? The NFL Combine is at the end of February. 2.5 months after Blake Corum surgery, working out pro days all through March and early April. He is not going to be able to put his best foot forward to get drafted as high as he thinks he should go, and frankly, I think most people think he should. So with that being said, Blake Corum potentially, I'm putting it 60%. We'll talk about some percentage here in a little bit. If Michigan can bring a top-notch NIL deal, which is, I would say, think about what a third or fourth round pick might get, which is maybe $1 million, $1.5 million salary. If Michigan can figure that out over the next 2 or 3 weeks before the mid-January deadline, Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards could make one of the best college football backfields we have seen in 2023 in 10, 15 years. So we'll see if it shakes out as that, but I'm putting it at about 60%. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. All right, let's take some questions from you guys from our mailbag. D-Lo K is God. I don't even know who is D-Lo K. I don't even know who that is, but he is God apparently. Let's go Blue, win the Natty. I mean, look, I put this out on Twitter yesterday morning, I apologize. I said, Michigan just outscored Ohio State on the road, Purdue in the Big Ten championship game by a score of 85-45 or 86-45, something like that. And they're 8-point favorites in the college football playoff, all doing that without their best player, Blake Corum. Now, some people argue that, maybe Donovan Edwards is their best player now. It's Blake Corum. That's indisputable. So, is this Michigan's best chance to win the national title since 97? Without a question. I do think they'll be preseason number one next year. But I want you guys to join in with me. I do think that Georgia is going to be quite the opponent if they can get past Ohio State. If Ohio State gets past Georgia, I do think Michigan can win that game, although I don't even want the Buckeyes to have the chance. It's quite the conundrum, I'll tell you what. But give me a Go Blue in the comments if you, like I, believe that Michigan can win it all. Question coming in here from Jimmy James Jameson. He says, is it time to pivot away from Jadyn Davis and offer more 2024 quarterbacks? All right, folks, we are going to address the Jadyn Davis situation, when he's going to commit, and maybe what Michigan should be considering right now as he delays his commitment past December 31st, like he originally had said, in just a moment. But I did want to tell you guys about today's sponsor. The Michigan Football Report is brought to you by Fetch. Fetch is a super and easy to use and free app that lets you earn rewards on literally anything you buy. Scan any physical receipt or e-receipt, and you earn points on your purchases. And the process only takes seconds. You don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it. Take a look on screen here. It's very simple. Let me show you how simple it is. All you do is open up the Fetch app, press the orange camera button, and snap a photo of your receipt. Then you hit the submit button and you see that confetti pop that'll come up here in just a moment, showing you that you've earned more reward points. It's a simple process. You can also click the e-receipt function and get rewarded for your Amazon purchase or other online shopping, or hell, even your Uber rides by syncing your email account. You can then redeem those points for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, any of hundreds of retailers and restaurants available in the Fetch app. It's a free app on the iPhone and Android. You got to use our link, though, right at the bottom of the screen there, chatsports.com/fetch. You enter promo code CHAT, CHAT. You get 5,000 sign-up bonus points when you sign up and scan your first receipt. That's the equivalent of a $5 gift card. This promotion will not last forever, so make sure you go right now. It's the holiday season. You bought a bunch of things. Scan those receipts. Get rewarded for those Amazon purchases. Chatsports.com/fetch will drop you right on the page to download for iPhone or Android. Make sure you use that promo code CHAT. Get your 5,000 bonus points. Thanks so much to Fetch for sponsoring today's video. The link is down in the comments and the description of today's Christmas video. Jimmy James Jameson's asking about Jadyn Davis. 2024, Michigan's put all their eggs in the basket of Jadyn Davis. And why is he delaying past December 31st? His given commitment timeline from a couple months ago made 4 trips, maybe even 5 actually, to Michigan from summer into the fall. And with him pushing into 2023, as obviously he still has another year until his commitment, his signing day in December of 2023, I think there's a chance that Michigan should give him a deadline. If it stretches into the later parts of January, into February, February is a huge month for the next class of commitments, right? There's still the kids that are junior that'll be committing here in a little bit. If it stretches into January, if we get into February, I think Michigan might have to say, look, Jadyn, we love you. You're our guy. February 15th deadline. If you don't commit to Michigan by then, we may have to bring on other players, other 2024 commits, or look more heavily in their transfer portal going into a season from after that, into the 2024 season. But I actually think if NIL is making such a big impact on Jadyn Davis' potential season or potential pick, I think J.J. McCarthy can take the lead here, right? Coaches can promise all they want. It's going to be so great here. We're going to have the best offense for you. We're going to turn you into a superstar. But how about J.J. McCarthy? He has the exact background in a lot of ways. He didn't grow up in the state of Michigan, right? If you think about coming to Michigan. Didn't grow up in the state of Michigan. Had to come 2-3 states away. Jadyn Davis a little further, coming from North Carolina. And by his second year, he was a starting quarterback. J.J. McCarthy will be a Heisman candidate, leading the number 1 team in the country going into his 3rd year at Michigan. And he has gotten plenty of NIL opportunities. What Jadyn Davis may be considering is that, well, other schools are offering me $500K guaranteed to come. Michigan's not offering me more than maybe $20K guaranteed from some collective. I want the 500. McCarthy's going to be like, look, here's what I got as a freshman as the 5-star backup. Here's what I got as a sophomore as the 5-star, all-conference level player starter, Big Ten champion quarterback starter. Here's what I'm going to get going into next year when I'll be quarterbacking the number 1 team in the country to start number 2023. So there's been a relationship, from what I understand, of the McCarthy family and Jadyn Davis from when they were like campers together. When JG was in high school, Jadyn Davis was in middle school. So make sure that relationship kind of is forged. Maybe they're on campus for 1 year in 2024 if JJ sticks around for his senior season. All right, guys, as it is Christmas Day, I'll put the Santa hat on for a second. Ask you guys to give me, a little cuts off the top there, but where's my little bell there? I'm going to flip that over for him. You can't wear a Santa hat unless you see this little white guy there. How likely are you to recommend this show to a friend who is a Michigan football fan? We've done our best to take any feedback you've given us on segment, on style, on substance, and incorporate it into the show over the last few years. So rate us on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not at all, 10 being the best. This show is my favorite. 8 and 9s are good too, but anything below maybe 9 or 8, leave a comment. Let us know what we could do better to get higher into your recommendation. If it's a 1, we'll take that feedback too, but you probably just are hate watching now. So let me know down below. It's the end of 2022. It's Christmas Day. How likely would you recommend this show to a friend? Scale of 1 to 10. Santa half off. Now, Steve, go blue. Will the Big Ten cancel future out-of-conference games with you? Given that USC and UCLA are joining after next season. This guy's loving the acronyms and the ends there on his comment. Thanks for the question, Steve. Go Blue. So let's take a look at Michigan's down-to-conference schedule. Kind of prepared this 2024, not next season, which is very similar to 2022, just a bunch of cream puffs. It's Tarleton State University. It's eggs in a basket Tech. Michigan's playing in 2023 in the out-of-conference. Not actually, but pretty much. 2024, Fresno State at Texas. Then you've got an open date in the 2024 season, which could be J.J. McCarthy's senior season. Would be crazy to see a McCarthy versus a Quinn Ewers if both of them stuck around for the senior season. 2025, New Mexico at home. You travel again to Oklahoma, so it's Texas in 1 year on the road, Oklahoma in 24, then 25, then at home against Central Michigan. In 2026, then, after that planned non-conference, 3 or 4 seasons out right now, we've got some more teams. So 2024, you've got at Texas. 2025, you've got at Oklahoma, folks. Some other games mixed in there, home games against New Mexico and against Central Michigan. Now, the Big Ten, will they go to 10 conference games? We will see. But I think going down the line, as we got in 26 and 27, then versus Oklahoma at Michigan Stadium. 27, Texas comes to Michigan Stadium. Rest of the schedule TBD. There's a game out there in like 28 or 29, rescheduling that 2020 game against Washington on the road. So the question here is, will Michigan, or will the Big Ten, cancel these games, right? So from 24 to 27, it's at Texas, at Oklahoma, home and home with those teams. It's kind of weird how it shakes out. It's not like home and home. It's like 2 roads, then 2 homes with 2. At that point will be SEC powers, Texas and Oklahoma. I don't know. If Michigan's playing Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, and then you add the USC to that, if that's the case, and then you add Texas or Oklahoma if they're at the top of their powers, which they currently are not, neither one of them, that's a hell of a schedule. That's 5 or 6 games against potentially top 20 programs in 1 year. That seems a little ridiculous. So if Michigan's stuck with USC as like a every year or scheduling those years, I think they should consider canceling those games. Although, being the fact that I live in Texas, I would hate to see that, because taking road trips in 24 to Texas, 25 to Oklahoma would actually be pretty fun for me. My son will be just about the age that he'll appreciate those at that time. But I'll ask you guys the question: should Michigan keep the home games from 24 through 27 with Texas and Oklahoma? Go in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. A simple vote of K is for keep, C is for cancel. Add any commentary on why either one of those, but give me a K or a C down below. I like this guy's username, The Don. What do you think? Who do you think will leave early for the NFL? It's certainly not The Don. He'll be here guaranteed next year in 2023, as he is only in his second year as a Michigan football player. But I've identified 5 guys. I want to give you just my take on where things standing. So let's take a look. First, we start off with 2 defensive linemen. Mazi Smith, 99% chance that he leaves and goes towards the NFL after this season. Now, Mike Morris. All these guys have eligibility for 2023. A couple of them have eligibility for 2025 as well. I put it at 80% at this point that Mike Morris leaves, the Big Ten Defensive Lineman of the Year. Currently injured, didn't play in the Big Ten Championship game, only a handful of snaps against Ohio State, but I do think he heads on to the NFL. DJ Turner, putting at 80% that he leaves, although I don't think he's going to be a top 2 or 3 round draft pick as of yet. Zak Zinter might be. 70% is where I'm putting it that he heads on to the NFL. But how about Blake Corum, folks? 40% that Blake Corum heads to the NFL. I've now teetered it now towards less than that. I don't think it's anything to do more than NIL, deals will, show themselves to Blake Corum. And if they can wrap that up before the deadline of declaring for the NFL, which I believe was like January 15th or 19th, plus he's going to be up against it, right? He's not healthy enough to perform for NFL teams at the combine, in individual workouts, at Michigan's Pro Day. And if he drops to the 5th round or something like that because of the injury, I mean, that is the path to getting cut by your 2nd or 3rd year if you're not performing on the field right away. So I think he might be best served coming back to Michigan, NIL or not. So that is my thoughts there on who stays and who leaves with this program. Now, you guys, if you love Michigan football, do you love Michigan football? If you do, you got to be subscribed to the channel. You might just be watching us for the first time. You might be sick of hanging out with your family here on Christmas Day. I'm filming this early in the morning and publish it early afternoon. Coming down to the studio. There's NFL games going on. The Chat Sports office is popping. It was popping yesterday on Christmas Eve and for 3 games as well today. Subscribe to the channel. Just hit that subscribe button below the video. If you've already subscribed, if you gave us a 9 or a 10 earlier on, send that link to a friend. Recommend that you watch and subscribe to the Michigan Football Report. One more time, Merry Christmas to everybody. Let me know if you got any Michigan football gear this morning from Santa Claus. And if you did, tweet me some photos at James Yoder on Twitter. I will feature them on a show into next week. It's game week, right? Approach Christmas today with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind when it comes to your family and everything you do today. But after today, all focus goes on this TCU game, Michigan riding towards a national championship. Merry Christmas, everyone. Until I see you guys in our next video, go Blue.